Because it's one thing to learn how to do the movement, but it's another thing to know how to do the movement while you're getting smacked upside your head. So still healing from my injury, so just bear with me a little bit.
Hey, that's okay, man. No, 100%. But you work it hard though, so that's just the proof right there. Alrighty, y'all. Well, I think we'll get things rolling here. So, if you have joined in with us this evening, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the second episode of the Dress Rehearsal for Death podcast. This is our special month of live premieres taking place every week leading up to our 2024 Tamerrian Sciences and Survival Summit taking place this coming April, which is the next addition to the Miami Entheogens event series that we started last year. So with me this evening is our second ever guest. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce you all to the one and only Brad Scott of the Tamerrian Institute. My man, Brad, how you doing, bro?
All right, what up, though? What up, though? How you doing? Everybody doing?
Man, so how have things been up there in Detroit? Ramsu said things have been pretty chill. When we talked last week, he said the weather wasn't killing you, so that was great. I always hope that the winter floods in and just like annihilates you guys, so that everybody's just super stoked to get down here to the beach and just have the rush of warm. But
Well, it should like 10 minutes ago, it was just snowing.
man,
I don't
yeah,
know
I
what
can
it's
only
doing right
imagine
now. I
how
hear the
how it's
wind
doing in
blowing, but
Ohio then.
it was just snowing not too long ago. So man, it's iffy right here, man. I can't wait to get back down there anyway.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Well, so Brad with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is a master martial artist and 20-year plus student of the legendary Ahati Kilindi Iyi, who we seek to celebrate with this event series. Brad is one of the, I guess, I would say leading members here at the Tamerrian Institute, and what I've come to see, getting to know all of you, is that you really have your own little niche and sector of knowledge that I think you all each bring to the table, really uniquely, and that you look to each other within the institute to bring to the picture, and it all comes together into one big powerhouse. And tonight we set aside the space for us to discuss a little bit of what I think your niche is, which is the urban self-defense side of things. And as well as I wanted to spend the time to really get into, some of the more just nitty-gritties of Tamerrian martial arts itself, and give people that sort of introduction so that they know what makes Tamerrian different than really any other martial arts school out there, and what makes the discipline different than any other martial arts school out there. Um, so is there any particular place that you'd like to jump in?
First, I wouldn't take the claim of master. I just got over 20 years experience and I know I'm pretty good with some stuff that I know. I can't claim master though. I'm forever student. Um, like yeah, that's good. That's dope that you see that everybody got their own little thing. What it is, you gravitate towards more of what you favor, like what you where your passion is a little deeper at. Like you learn this school got so many things to offer, so of course you learn a little bit of everything, but you have certain things in certain parts of the classes that you gravitate towards the most. And like as far as like the dance application of it, that's something that I put a lot of time into. As far as how our school is taught, how our style is taught, and how it's preserved. And then as far as like the urban self defense, I grew up in Detroit, you know, and like the difference between martial arts. And self-defense is two different. There's two different animals. You know, like martial arts is more of a lifestyle and understanding of something. Man, the martial art that you choose, it has a background. It was developed and came from somewhere. So it's a reason and a purpose. And usually it's a lot of cultural values in the martial arts. So when you involve yourself in martial arts, you involve yourself in a whole culture, a whole way of living. You know, and defense is something that you deal with when you have to go out into the world and make sure that you get back to your family safe. So, which is not always physical. Most of martial arts and most of self defense is mental. You know, placing yourself in the right situations or thinking rational or just mentally and controlling your reality and your perception of how you moving. You know, is a martial art in itself. So it's like two different animals when you think about martial arts and you think about self defense.
100%. Well, if we have any viewers with us tonight that were with us for the Miami Entheogenic Conference last year, they got a little bit of sneak peek into the actual dance side of how dance is integrated into the martial arts with your workshop that you facilitated, which was an absolute blast. And something of the likes is going to be an element and a feature of this upcoming Tamerrian Sciences event, but I think it's only going to be expounded upon because the space will be provided for it. So that's going to be really, really exciting. And I got to dive deeper into that a little bit when I came up for the martial arts conference back in August, which was another blast. And it's, yeah, man, like you guys are really your own Hogwarts professors. And when it comes to this, like people have no idea like just how, you know, 1 second, like they have no idea what they're getting into. And then 10 seconds later, they're in a crowd full of, you know, just this huge vibration and everybody is just building off of each other and they start to see it build piece by piece because you really start us from like, you know, one movement and then you build the next piece and then you build the next piece and then slowly you see how you know, it's like they you brought up the point that, you know, football players will study ballet a little bit to help them with their footwork and you know, I'm sure the other martial arts disciplines as well happen to all sorts of different realms of dance, but you know, you showed it both from the martial arts side and then also from the practical self-defense side as well. You know, so it was really, I'm stoked, man. It's going to be, I think we're going to have you in the first part of the day in the morning. You know, so people are going to show up and, you know, get moving and get active right away, so that the energy is there and can be carried throughout the whole event, man. So
that'll be dope.
Absolutely. Well, so let's do this, man. Let's dive a little bit into the beginning, man, because I'm really curious for you to have the space to, you know, share a little bit more about your upbringing and your background and your story. You know, and we'll save the meat of that for the second part when we cut the live off here. But, you know, I can just start us off here a little bit general. When in your path did you find your way into Tamerrian?
Well, shoot, man, it was later, like later. I didn't start doing martial arts till I was 27. I just turned 50 last week. So it's like, shit, man. Some people just start doing martial arts when they're young. So, you know, like single digits. Some people start when they're teenagers. Some people start when they get, you know, in their later 20s or whatever. Some people get into it for self-defense. I got into it because I was in the Black Panthers chapter here in Detroit. You know, is Muda done told the story before, like Khalid Muhammad was coming here, and you know he used to had the new Panther chapter, the new Black Panther party, and he was coming here giving lectures. And then one day, you know, he asked, "Did anybody want to start a chapter here?" You know, Muda asked me, "Did I want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he was like, "Well, we're gonna be, you know, doing the people's defense. We should have, you know, be studying our own martial art." And I was like, "What you mean, like African martial arts?" He was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I didn't even know they had African martial arts." He like, yeah, it's his brother named
Had you
Ahati
studied
Kilindi.
any other disciplines prior, or that this was your
Nah, I ain't never did no nothing. This the first martial arts I ever did my whole life. I ain't never studied nothing. This first time first ever. I ain't never studied nothing but this. That's all I know. But he was like, it's a brother named Ahati Kilindi that teach African martial art. And then Bob agreed to teach us, and the rest is history. Because we stopped being Panthers because Khalid Muhammad had passed away. So the way things was going, we didn't too much agree the way they was moving. So we kind of removed ourselves and started doing other stuff. So Mudu started teaching at this African Center school, and I agreed to start teaching the youth. So like up until date, I want to talk like maybe like from 2000, and because Bobby gave me the okay to start teaching children. Second year after I was training, I think I taught maybe like almost 9,000 youth up to date from 2002 up to date now.
That's incredible.
Yeah, matter of fact, when I come back from Miami, I start a 8-week class with the children.
Tremendous, man. Well,
Yeah, so that's how I became the martial arts.
okay. And you made a good point. I truly don't want to touch on your age, and it's funny because every time any one of you guys tell me how old you are, it just like completely smacks me in the face because it shocks me. Like you guys are not you do not seem as old as you actually say that you are every time that you say it. So, um, but that being said, I think something that people really, 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 if you don't know anything about martial arts and you're completely from the outside, is that you think that it's something that is really only accessible to the youth, or when your body is in its peak state. And I can tell from a fencer's perspective that we have even at the national competitive level like a section for veteran 70, which is
Mm.
which is for the 70 to 80 age range. So this is across the board. There is tons of older adult and elder involvement, and it doesn't stop. The importance of it doesn't stop, and there are plenty of those who keep this going throughout their whole life. And like you said, I think it can call to you any day, and it's up to us to make it just
Answer.
as accessible to the elder population as it would be anybody in the youth. So I saw pretty much the whole age spectrum when I was there for the martial arts conference, and
Mm-hmm.
it's powerful, man. It really is.
Yeah, because it's like even with our classes, we don't have like beginners, intermediate, and then the expert level. We don't have classes like that. You come in where we at, learn the basics, and you build on the basics. Get the foundation and the fundamentals. And you build on that.
Yeah, and your guys' classes, it's all intermixed, so you've got everybody all different body sizes working with each other. And I
Yeah.
mean, I guess in that sense, when you're teaching the more practical end, that makes the most sense, honestly, because from the urban and self-defense perspective, you're not going to necessarily encounter just foes who would be of your age range necessarily. So you have to be prepared for whatever's coming for you.
Yeah, and that's also part too of the dance. This understanding movement and movement period, not just your movement, but the movement of other people and other objects. Because people are objects, and everybody don't move the same. Everybody can't move like you, and everybody don't move like So yeah, it's good to work with different sizes and different energy.
Absolutely. So you said it was about 20 years ago that you found your way into Tamerrian?
Yeah, I started training. My first class was October 1st, 2000. My very first class, martial arts ever.
Dude, that's dope. Have it marked on the calendar. So I know you're a musician as well. When did your path as a musician begin?
Well, sometimes people, when you hear the word musician, people think of somebody that play an instrument. But so I'm an instrument of the streets. So I used to rap and I used to dance. Those was my tools. That's all the instrument is, a tool. So it's a tool of expression. And that's my form of expression, dancing and rapping. So I was doing that since I've been young, like break dancing and all the way up. So when I found out that the martial arts had dancing in it, it was right up my alley. It was a rap.
Was the presence of dance in Tamerrian martial arts, is that something that you encountered right off the bat? I mean, does that come pretty much from day one, or
Yeah,
is
day
there?
one. Yeah, I mean, cause that's how the system is taught. It's 12 dances. Like that's the first tape that Baba put out was based on the dances and how to the martial application of the dance. And through the system that we do, Ahati is taught through the dance as a youth and all the way up until you're an adult. So you learn the dances first, and then you learn how to apply the dances in the martial aspect of it. That's why, like even like Baba Kenny, who the only person Baba made a master of our system, who granted him. So he teach us a lot of the dance aspect of it. Like Baba Ahati would teach us the you lost the Zoom. Okay. So all right. So like Baba would teach us the technique in the form, and then Baba Kenny would teach us how to apply the technique in the form, how to fight with it. So it's two different. It's two different lessons. Because it's one thing to learn how to do the movement, but it's another thing to know how to do the movement while you're getting smacked upside your head. So that's pretty much how the two things balance it out. So we had classes 4 days out the week. Yeah, one of those classes Bobby Kenny doing the dance class, teaching through the dance and having us work out and kind of sparring like it's interesting, man. That's why I've been here so long because I never seen nothing like it before, and I still haven't seen anything really like it. Not to knock any other arts, but it's been home since day one. So that's why I
Well,
put so much.
while we're live here, you can go ahead, drop the plug for the people, let them know how they can get involved if they're in the Detroit area, if they want to come pop by the classes that you guys have going on. And you guys can also find any information on the Tamerrian Institute. I believe it's www.tamerrianinstitute.com or .org.
Yeah, and Tamerrian, here on Instagram too. Tamerrian Institute on Instagram. We train at a church facility on 8850 Woodward here in Detroit, Michigan. We got classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays Thursdays, and Fridays from 7 to 8:30, and Saturdays from 12 to 1:30. So like you can inbox me, or they can if they're trying to get in touch with me, they can get in touch with you, shoot me to them, or they can go to Tamerrian on Instagram, or they go to the Tamerrian website, get info. If they ever here in Detroit, they can drop in, do a drop-in class. Or, we working to set up online classes too once we get enough people all the time.
Percent, yeah, man. So, like you said, all of our boxes are open, and we will get you pointed in the right direction for sure if you're up there or if you're in town and want to pass by. Yeah, man. Well, shoot, where are we going to take this next? Let's see. Oh, so this is a good one. Everybody has to hear this on live. Another thing that makes Tamerrian unique, and that is not seen as I would say openly expressed in martial arts, or maybe as outright, but your guys' use and expressions of the animal systems is something that's been truly magnificent, and it's been a great just feat to experience it every time I've been there for a conference up there in Detroit, or whether it's been watching you guys do it down here in Miami. It's been awesome editing the footage of it. Like, it's just a blast. And people, I think, have to realize it seems that each martial artist really finds their path to a specific animal that develops within them and helps sort of lead their path and how they study and practice the martial art. And then another element to it as well, which is what makes this event entheogenic based, is that a lot of that comes from the relationship that is built with the mushroom while actually in the process of training, because that is sort of a conduit process for your relationship with the animal, if I'm describing that correct.
Yeah,
But
you
I'll
got
let you go ahead and
that's right. Cause
articulate here.
it's all, but you got to keep in mind too. It's all levels of discipline, self-discipline, and discipline with purpose. So it's like most systems got animal, and they got animal systems for different reasons. And one of the reasons why our system incorporate the animal system is because certain tribes over in Africa made a symbiotic relationship with the animals that was around in their village. So that way it kept a balance and kept peace to where they won't be disrupting each other's territory, and they actually work together to keep balance and harmony. So it's like the leopard men would study the leopards and embody the spirit and actually be able to take on certain forms to where they actually become that animal. So they actually dealing with the actual spirit. So it's like when we deal with it in the school, we dealing with it as a preservation purpose, like because that's part of the system. And certain people get chosen to deal with it, and it's not something that you take light. So it's like you have to. It's only certain people that get chosen, or certain ways you can have your animal in our school, because we got 42, but we got like sacred animals too. So right now we just working with the sacred animals, or some of us dealing with that. That's not something that everybody deal with. And it's take a long time to harness that. So it's not just like I'm just mimicking and acting like this. I'm actually dealing with that actual spirit, and through the entheogens, we deal with it certain ways too. And two, I want to say, like, when we're doing demonstrations, it's like you have certain warriors that do demonstrations for the king to display what they dealing with, to show their power, to show this is what we got, what we do, to defend the village and to defend the kingdom and defend you. So it's like that's actually what we're doing too. But sometimes people get it twisted, like thinking that's actually how we fight, or what I'm saying, like it's totally different from that. I'm gonna say it now. I'm only gonna say this once. You can think you're gonna run up on me and I'm gonna be doing stuff like that. You can get your ass whooped. It's gonna be totally different. So just keep in mind when we're doing demonstrations, it's not to show off. We are doing a display, an expression of our art. It's an expression. So that's a little bit of the way the fight style is, but it's totally not how we're gonna go into combat. So people think they can read or try to gauge how we fight or how we, really did get down, but we really just showing you an expression of what that is.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And it was great too. There really seems to be, especially with the African disciplines, set aside space for just a sort of artistic sort of display and free expression as a part of the process. It was interesting too to I got exposed to a lot of different things that I'd never even seen, including the capoeira while I was up there, and that was a beautiful integration of the art and the music, and seeing how it is infused and interwoven in the process. So I totally get what you're saying when you say the demonstration isn't what would happen. But am I wrong to say that in a super uh, practical or real scenario sense, that you could look back and look at certain interactions that you've had, or whether it be in training or even something you've dealt with in real life, where you can see how that interaction went down and know to yourself that, oh, like there was a little bit of signature of that animal sort of, and
Oh
how
yeah.
you get what I'm saying, like
Oh
that's
yeah.
sort
No,
of
no. I'm not saying like when we're doing. I'm saying like when we're doing the demonstration. For instance, when somebody punching at me and I'm demonstrating something on them, people think they could calculate. Oh, that's how to know. That's we just expressing that movement, because the person not gonna stand there and let me do all that stuff to them like that. So it's actually gonna be a lot more extra stuff going on if somebody swing at me and I react. It's gonna be some of that stuff, but it's gonna be way more violent. It's gonna be way more because we don't show everything that we do. So I just had to put that out there because I had a conversation with somebody and they thought they was gauging my style, and since I don't
like,
really be
nah.
on platforms that much, I'm just putting it out there once because I'm only gonna say it once. So I was just putting that out there. But and also too with the animal part of it, it's also making yourself one with nature. You know what I'm saying? So this is not like being a warrior is being one with nature, being one with yourself, being one with the universe, being one with this reality. So it's like that's another discipline of it too. The animal is a discipline part of it. The dance is a discipline part of it. Just learning the art and even know why you're doing it completely is totally discipline in itself, which is different from just self-defense. So that's my martial art aspect of it.
Absolutely. So Brett, let me ask you this. And I know you have a little bit of a background in, just youth care and helping children in a lot of different contexts. But being in the school, you're engaging with the whole age spectrum, as I said. So, um, in terms of the different stages for folks, what do you, I guess, is there outside of just someone's learning experience for themselves as an individual, is there a sort of deeper, I guess, movement that exists within the age groups or the classes that take place? Meaning, when I envision a young class of kids coming in to learn this art, the same way that I have kids that I work with at my fencing club, I really try to make sure that they are coming there not just to learn fencing, but to really walk away and feel as though what they're developing is making them better programmed to deal with the rigors of their life, and also how they build relationships with people outside the club, and how they just, I guess, move and build. And I think that when look, I guess people put martial arts in the realm of physical activity and sports, but when you look at it in that sense, I think martial arts, just because of how they're what they are, really create a vessel and a vehicle to inspire change on a social level. And I think that, like, that's something that I see ever present every time that I'm there, and I think that that's a big part of what all of this is to create a little bit deeper of a social change and a unification. And I don't know, I'm just curious if you could articulate what that kind of looks like, just going through the stages, and how what a kid looks like coming in to Tamerrian, right from the start. And I don't know if you guys have any kids that are fresh off the, like, if they've started right from the beginning. I know Ramsu obviously has, because that Baba Kilindi's his dad. But
Yeah, all our I mean, any of us that have children, they basically come up through Tamerrian. So like we haven't had anyone outside of the students really that just bring their child. We got a couple, but for the most part, a lot of us, our children, that came up in it. But when you teaching, like, because fencing is a martial art. When you teaching it, you teaching the person really how to deal with themselves. Because like if I get into combat with somebody, I'm not fighting that person. Really, I'm not fighting their art. I'm really fighting myself. How I'm dealing with this conflict. How I'm dealing with how they swinging at me. How I'm dealing with everything that's going on in this moment with me in this conflict with this person. Because I mean, I'm in conflict with the person because it's something about me that got him in it. So I got to know and be aware of all these things about myself, even to this point of after I defeat this person. You know what I'm saying? It still boils down to, okay, at some point I'm fully responsible for this because somehow my involvement got something to do with me. So like when you get in a child early, because it's just self-development, really. The art that we discover when you teach somebody martial arts or how to deal with certain combative arts, you're learning a lot about yourself, even with sports. That's anything really, like art, painting, dancing, like I said, sports. So anything you apply yourself to learn, you learning about yourself, really, because it take the patience to learn what you're doing. So it take a lot about yourself to even immerse yourself into that one thing. So like if you get them early, then you just helping them with self-development early, which is never too late unless you deal with people that just set on themselves and set on what they know and stuck and can't move on. It's just younger. It's good you get exposed to more than just one set of things. the older you get, the more you be locked into what you know.
Let's see where we're at here. Guys, how we doing? Just joining in. Thanks for coming and chilling with us. Let's see. Yep, if you just joined in, once again, we are live here for the second episode of the Dress Rehearsal for Death podcast. This is our month of live premieres leading up to the 2024 Tamerrian Sciences and Survival Summit that we have going on down here at Nova Southeastern University, coming up on April 7th. So if you want to come hang out with us, have a weekend full of martial arts, survival, and also mycology training here at a university in South Florida. Make sure to go to www.entheoplex.org/Miami Entheogens. We have a whole portal of information there on the Miami Entheogens event series. This is our second design of event that we're launching this year as a follow-up to the Miami Entheogenic Conference last year. So I think we're going to have this sort of on a rotation basis. So we're going to get more of the real martial side and also the survival side going this year. Again, everything is definitely entheogenically infused as well, and you guys will totally see that when you come down. But then, yeah, the traditional style conference will be back next year. So with us tonight is Brad Scott from the Tamerrian Institute, and we are once again discussing just dibble-dabbling into a little bit of, the, I guess, frameworks of Tamerrian martial arts, and then also a little bit into some urban self-defense stuff and how dance really, brings the two together. So if anybody wants to drop any questions here really quick, now is a good time. If not, we can just keep things rolling. But, this is an open thread. We wanted to open this live, like I said, just for this month, really just to get everybody engaged and, see what's up. Because if you guys have any questions about the event, we are here to answer for you. So, yes, and Brad will be leading the first part of our day, which is going to be the Tamerrian martial arts, dance, and urban self-defense workshop that will be the morning of Sunday the 7th here in the Southeast.
Yeah, because I was just watching the one from last year, because I'm really going to build on that, add more onto that. And we're going to have fun, though, because I'm going to add a little bit of improvised weapons to it, just using stuff around the room as a weapon.
Nice, man. Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody. Hey, y'all. Well, I think we're going to hang around here on live for just a few more minutes, and then we will wrap this one up on the live, and you guys can catch everything on part 2 when it releases. I appreciate everybody's patience as well and bearing with me on the content release, just because it's been a hectic last week here, and I am weeks out from graduation, as is Jules. So we really appreciate everybody's love and energy as well. It's been quite a 4-year journey, and this event that we have coming up in April, man, it's one heck of a way to graduate. I'll tell you that, because it's just to have had this go on for the last 3 years, man, it's been a dream come true, and it's always great to get the family together. And we're going to be out on the beach again on Wednesday the 10th, as always, to celebrate Baba and to just ceremonially hold space together and, really feel the love, and it's always great. So if you plan on coming down with us, make sure to hang around on Wednesday. That is a free event open to the public as well. And we would love to have you out and, get you a little closer into, the intimacy of it all, because this is, really heartfelt and a special time of the year for us, and really important to us all. So we really appreciate you guys being there, and it's totally open to you guys if you want to come check it out. But if you plan on staying through Wednesday, you'll have Monday and Tuesday entirely open to explore South Florida and to go out and get your feet wet, and do whatever. We have a ton of recommendations that we can send you guys, send your guys' way to keep you busy. Everything from kayaking to great restaurants. So like I said, keep yourself busy for Monday and Tuesday, and then we will be back for a beautiful beach celebration on Wednesday the 10th for Baba Kilindi. So, yeah.
And it's a dope conference too. It's one
Yeah,
of the
man.
conferences. I'm not saying all conferences don't be that way, but it's definitely one of the conferences where you come and you get educated on something that you can walk away with, not just something you just catch for the moment and forget as soon as you walk away with it. We make sure that you walk away with something. If you don't remember all of it or half of it, you're gonna remember something.
Yep.
You're gonna take home something that you can use that's useful to you. We're gonna make sure of that.
110%. Yeah, it's and the great thing is like afterwards, anybody that comes to these things too, you did yourself a disservice if you didn't walk away with a network full of new people and a phone full of new friends and people that you can talk to, because that's certainly been the case for me 3+ times in a row now. So this is about finding that support that you need, and maybe getting some answers that you've been looking for. And it's magic the whole way through, man. And anybody that comes through knows exactly what I'm talking about, because 9 times out of 10, it's somewhere that you've needed to be for quite a long time. And when you show up, it's like this like deja vu, sort of like feeling like, oh man, this isn't the first time I've done this, but it's sure great to be back.
And too, not to cut you off, man, like you saying, like if you can, it's like the times we in now, if you can, it's time to grasp the moments, because like Chief Nighthawk was there and he not gonna be here this year. You know what I'm saying? And he gave a beautiful lecture. You know what I'm saying? He played the flute, everything he did, and he not here no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I just be like, man, if we wouldn't have had that conference, I wouldn't have had the chance to experience that, because when he was here in Michigan, I was out of town, on some other business. So I didn't get a chance to spend them last days with him when he was here. But I got a chance to spend that time with him when we was out of town, though. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah, well,
that was crazy. That was cool.
we definitely plan to take a minute to honor the chief as well, because he's certainly an integral part of the foundations of this project. And we all certainly miss him dearly. So that will absolutely be part of the event for sure. And like you said, if anybody wants to go ahead and go over to the Entheoplex Media page on YouTube, we have a full recap of all of the lecture and workshop recordings from last year's event. So, Chief Nighthawk's flute is actually on there, and you can listen to his whole lecture and his story. It's really incredible. I've gone back and given it a few listens, man, because it was crazy. Like we had Chief Nighthawk transition, and that was like a 2 day. He was before. That was like 3 days before my father transitioned, man. So I was just like that was a powerful time. But I'll tell you what, like having your guys' support there, and just being able to pick up the phone, and how we all just like grabbed onto each other, and it was really special. And we're still doing that. So see who we got with us. I appreciate that, Courtney. Thank you so much. Rocket Man, I appreciate you as well, bro. Thanks for hanging out, man. Matthew, what's up, bro? Thanks for tuning in. Yes. And I got some unfamiliar faces, but like I said, thank you so much for your support, guys. I really appreciate everybody's jumping in here and hanging out with us for a little bit. I hope all of you are booking your tickets and planning to come down and join us in April, man. Because like I said, I mean, we can only do so much here on live, but it's another thing when we're there on that beach or here on this campus with all these palm trees, bro. It's a whole different type of energy. So
that's right. That's right. Don't miss out if you can.
Yes, sir. Well, let me ask you this. I'm gonna open it up to the chat one more time. Is there any questions you guys got on your minds? Anything you guys want to hear
Questions?
while you've got your man Brett live? Because this is the time, people. Especially if you're not able to join us. He is a powerhouse of expertise, and anything that you've got related to Tamerrian, dance, urban self-defense, mycology, anything of the likes, man. This is somebody that you want to talk to.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, dude.
The Junior here too.
I feel like I'm only a micrometer into just wrapping my head around it, man.
Hey man, because I don't try to learn everything. I don't have time to learn everything. I learn how to do enough and learn how to what I like to do a lot. So well, so we be having mycology classes all the time. Moodle just had a mycology class. Matter of fact, we be having them every month. So just you can go to Detroit Psychedelic Society and look on our website. We'll be announcing when we be having classes. We have those all the time.
Yeah, guys, Tamerrian is a huge proponent of, like I said, self-empowerment and, putting the resources in your hands, and building that for your house and your home and your family, because that's really what it should come down to. And we all have the capabilities to grab hold of these skills and develop them. And in terms of the mycology stuff, it's really a lot easier than you think. And some of these other plant medicines and herbal medicines are one thing, but when it comes to the mushrooms, I mean, this is something that can truly change your family's capabilities to take care of themselves for generations down the road. And we're just now learning that this goes further than psilocybin. There are all sorts of functional mushrooms that essentially are grown through similar processes. And then outside of the edible side of things, we're doing everything from building structures to just different
Everything.
materials. Like it's literally insane. It's literally insane. And if we're not if we're going to leave it up to the industries to provide these things to ourselves, when we can just be doing it in our own homes and taking the power for ourselves, then it really just defeats the whole purpose. So that's what we seek to provide with these events as well. And we're going to have a mycology workshop built into the later segment of the day. And we'll get to touch on that in the later part of this live series as well. But yeah, man. So, well, y'all, if there's not any questions, let's see. We got any questions coming through?
Rocket.
Yeah, Rocketman said, Brad, women's self-defense classes on Sunday.
Yeah, I have them every Sunday. They still going on right now. Every Sunday. At Heaven on Earth. You could go to my Instagram. I'll be posting on my Instagram and my Facebook page, Brad Scott on Facebook. I had the information on there when the class is going on. Yeah, that's a women's self-defense class I do every Sunday. Like I said, like the difference between self-defense and martial arts. But the way that I'm doing this self-defense class, I'm doing it like it's a martial art class. I'm doing this self-defense class like it's it's a system. I built it into a system, so it's definitely a purpose behind it. And basically, the purpose is, you shouldn't be putting your hands on me, so I'm about to beat your ass. That's basically the whole style of that.
Yeah.
So that's what that's built off of. So yeah, that's every Sunday from 12.
There we go, people. It's very simple, guys. It's very simple.
Straight to the point. Yeah. Straight to the point.
Yep. All right. Well, I think this is a good time here that we can go ahead and wrap up the live segment of this, because I've got some fun little wormholes for us to jump into in part 2, and that is for everybody to catch on the replay. So guys, make sure to go ahead and head over to at DR4D podcast on YouTube and go ahead and give us a subscribe. That's where you're going to find all the reposts of both these live streams. If you're going to catch it afterwards, as well as part 2, which we will be doing pulling off the live. We had another hour and a half go after our segment with Ramsu last week. So there's a part 2 coming out for you guys. It's going to be dope. And it will be same thing for this episode. So like I said, make sure to go ahead and head over and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram at DR4D podcast as well. We'll have a bunch of short clips and little things coming out from all the episodes for you guys to catch on there. But with that being said, last chance for final call, last call here for any more questions, shout outs. What's up, my man Ramsu? Thanks for popping in real quick. Yes, sir. What's up, Josh? Thanks for popping in, buddy. We appreciate it, bro. Alrighty, guys. Well, everybody, this was episode 2 of the Dress Rehearsal for Death podcast, our first month of live premieres. And this was our second episode with Brad Scott. Brad, my man, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And I hope all of you are planning to come down to catch his workshop, because it's truly not something you guys want to miss. And it will keep you moving for the whole year afterwards, literally. So, yes. What's up, Lucia? Good evening to you as well. Alrighty, guys, we're going to get off of here, but like I said, go give us a like and a subscribe, and we will have this part 2 coming out for you in a few days. So we hope to see you there. Much love, everybody.
Peace.